A customer once sat down across from me and showed me a savings account she was genuinely proud of. She had kept her family's entire emergency fund in it for 9 years, $11,000 untouched, sitting exactly where a bank had once told her to put it. And I had to tell her something that has stuck with me ever since. That account had quietly cost her money every single one of those 9 years, not through a fee, through something almost nobody thinks to check. Here is the good news. Once you see it, you can fix it in an afternoon. So today I want to walk you through the honest answer to a question I got asked constantly. Where should your emergency fund actually live? Not the version the internet sells you, the version a banker would give a family member. Quick note before we start. I spent more than 20 years working in banking, and I am sharing what I learned on the inside. But I am not your financial advisor, and this video is general education, not personal advice. Everyone's situation is different, so for decisions about your specific money, talk to a professional who can look at your full picture. With that said, let's get into it, because this one genuinely helps people. Here is the first thing I want to reframe for you, because it changes every decision that comes after it. Your emergency fund is not an investment, it is insurance. An investment exists to grow. Insurance exists to be there the exact moment your life goes sideways. The car transmission, the job that ends on a Friday, the medical bill nobody planned for. That money has one job, and the job is to show up in full on the worst day without drama. Once you really believe that, you stop asking the wrong question. The wrong question is, how do I get the highest return on this money? The right question is, where can this money sit so it is safe, reachable, and not quietly shrinking? Those are three different jobs, and most people only ever check one of them. So let's name all three, because a good home for your emergency fund has to do every one of them. Job one is safety. The dollar you put in is the dollar you can take out. No market swing, no chance of loss. Job two is liquidity. You can reach the money fast, ideally in a day or two, without a penalty for touching it. An emergency does not wait for a maturity date. And job three is the one almost everyone forgets. The money has to at least keep pace, so it is not quietly losing value while it sits. Most people nail job one, feel safe, and never look again. They never check job three, and that is the exact gap my customer fell into. Her money was safe, her money was reachable, and her money was shrinking the whole time. Let me show you how that happens. Here is what I can tell you from the inside. When you walk into a big national bank and ask to open a savings account, the rate you are handed is often almost nothing. I am not exaggerating for effect. Some of the largest banks in the country pay 1/100th of 1% on a standard savings account. Put $10,000 in an account like that, leave it a full year, and you earn about $1. $1. Meanwhile, the cost of everything you buy went up by more than 2.5%. So in real terms, that safe savings account lost you a couple $100s of buying power, even though the number on the statement never went down. That is the trick of it. Nothing looks wrong, the balance is intact, but the money is doing nothing while the world gets more expensive around it. Tellers are not hiding this from you. It is printed right on the statement. It is just printed in a place nobody is taught to look. Let's go back to my customer and her $11,000. For 9 years, that money sat in a standard savings account, paying almost nothing. She had done everything the responsible voice in her head told her to do. She saved. She did not touch it. She felt protected. And she was protected from the wrong thing. She was protected from market loss. She was never protected from inflation. Over those 9 years, prices climbed, and her $11,000 slowly bought less and less. By the time she sat across from me, it still said 11,000 on the screen, but it would not stretch the way it used to. When I showed her the actual interest line on her statement, she went quiet. Then she asked the only question that matters. Okay, so where should it have been? That is the question. And the honest answer has more than one right option, depending on who you are. So let's walk all of them, the way I would for someone I cared about. Option one, and for most people watching this, the simple winner, is a high-yield savings account. It is the same kind of account she already had, with one difference that changes everything: the rate. As of right now, in May of 2026, the strongest high-yield savings accounts are paying somewhere around 4% a year, while the national average savings account pays under 1/2 of 1%. Same insurance, same federal protection up to $250,000, same ability to move your money in a day or two. The only thing that changed is that your money is finally pulling its weight. On a $10,000 emergency fund, that is the difference between earning a few dollars a year and earning a few hundred. Now, one honest catch: that rate is variable. The bank can change it, and in a falling rate environment, it probably will drift down. So you check it twice a year. But for safety, access, and simplicity, this is the honest default. Option 2 is where I have to slow down because two products share almost the same name and they are not the same thing. The first is a money market account. That is a bank account. It is federally insured, just like your savings account, and right now, the competitive ones pay in the same neighborhood as a good high-yield savings account, often with a checkbook or a debit card attached. Perfectly fine home for emergency money. The second is a money market fund. Drop one word, change everything. A money market fund is not a bank account. It is an investment you hold at a brokerage. It is generally very stable, but it is not federally insured the way a bank account is. It carries a different kind of protection that covers the brokerage failing, not the value of the fund. For an emergency fund, that distinction matters. So here is the simple rule. If it says account, it is a bank product. If it says fund, it lives at a brokerage. Know which one you are being handed. Option 3 is the one the internet loves to shout about: Treasury bills. And I want to give you the honest banker version, not the hype version. A Treasury bill is a short-term loan you make to the federal government, and it is about as safe as money gets. Here is the part the loud videos skip. Right now, in May of 2026, a short Treasury bill is paying roughly 3.5%, while the best high-yield savings accounts are paying around 4%. On the plain headline number, the savings account is currently winning. So why would anyone choose the bill? Two real reasons. First, the interest on a Treasury bill is exempt from state and local income tax. And if you live in a state with an income tax, that exemption can quietly flip the math in the bill's favor. Talk to a tax person about your own situation. Second, a bill lets you lock today's rate for a few months, while a savings rate can fall the week after you open it. And here is the history that proves this is not a permanent secret. For most of the 2010s, Treasury bills paid almost nothing. Back then, building a bill ladder was genuinely not worth the trouble. They only became worth it when rates climbed. Treasury bills are a tool, not a magic answer. They are worth it now, for the right person. Now let me warn you about the opposite mistake, because I watched people make this one too. In the rush to stop earning nothing, some people lock their emergency money up too tightly. They put the whole fund into a 1-year certificate of deposit with a penalty for early withdrawal. Or they buy a longer treasury that does not mature for a year or more. And then the emergency actually happens, and their safety money is trapped behind a penalty or a maturity date. Think about what that means. If you have to pay a fee or wait weeks to reach your emergency fund, then on the day of the emergency, it was not really an emergency fund. It was just savings with a lock on it. The whole point of this money is that it answers the door immediately. So whatever you choose, the core of your emergency fund has to stay reachable. Yield is the bonus. Access is the requirement. Never trade the requirement to chase the bonus. So here is the answer I would give someone I cared about, in plain language. Split your emergency fund into 2 layers. Layer 1 is about 1 month of expenses, and it stays in a high-yield savings account, completely liquid, ready the same day. That is your fast money. Layer 2 is the rest of the fund, and where it goes depends on you. If you are anywhere near a high-tax state, look hard at short Treasury bills for the tax break. If you want pure simplicity, leave it in the high-yield savings account and do not overthink it. Both are right answers. And here is the one number to check, the number my customer never knew to look for. It is the annual percentage yield, the APY, on your statement. Find that line today. If it starts with a 0, your money is asleep. If it is up near 4%, your money is awake and working. That single check is the whole video. It is the thing she wished someone had shown her 9 years sooner. So let's go back one last time to that customer and her $11,000. After we talked, she did the unglamorous, powerful thing. She opened a high-yield savings account that afternoon, moved her fast money in, and looked at short Treasury bills for the rest. Same $11,000, same safety, same access. The only thing that changed was that her money finally stopped quietly shrinking and started quietly working. That is the whole goal here. Not a secret, not a trick. Just knowing which line to read and which account to pick. So if you take one action from this video, go find the APY on your savings statement before you go to bed tonight. If it starts with a 0, you now know exactly what to do. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I will see you in the next video.